What's the worst thing you've ever tasted? Brussels sprout flavored Jones soda from the holiday pack about 15 years ago. Dude, yes. My friends and I bought that pack and all took turns trying the sodas. We saved the Brussels sprout one for last, and it's good we did because we all vomited. We were in my friend's kitchen and he went first and vomited in the sink. Then another guy I went and ran out the back door and puked in a bush. Then I went and puked in the bush next to the other bush. It was quite a ride. A properly ripened persimmon, in my opinion, is really good. But one year around Christmas, I got one that must have been underripe or something because it tasted good for about 0.02 seconds before the texture turned into literal sand and sucked every particle of moisture out of your mouth. Literally the worst thing ever. I used to take some antidepressant pill and I just barely scraped one of my sharp canine teeth and it tasted horrible, like my mouth was just dying or something for about 30 minutes. Water and milk made it even worse. Once I popped some electrolyte mineral pills in my mouth and started chomping away on my way to the gym. I thought I had grabbed my almonds. They began foaming and tasted extremely bitter and sour at the same time. I thought I was getting poisoned. Also, once tried an olive straight off a tree. Also tasted like poison. Don't recommend. Did not know about that one, but came here to say my worst was ranch dressing flavored soda. Couldn't even swallow it. Throat slammed shut. Horrible. Smelled like moldy socks and tasted even worse. One time I chewed on a gel Advil. It had some kind of liquid inside it that numbed my mouth and my throat, and I thought I was going to die. It was so bitter too. This clear liquid medicine I had to take as a kid when I was diagnosed with a polio-like disease called Coxsackie. The name is funny. I don't even remember the effects, but that medicine legit tasted like battery acid or something. A cheese ball at this church lady's house, one of my grandma's friends. It tasted like dirty socks that a cat had been playing with for months, but I have never laughed as hard as I did that day. I stupidly asked my then 11-year-old sister, who is on the spectrum and thus has problems modulating her voice, if she had had a cheese ball. She proceeds to effectively yell, "Yeah, it tasted like a butt's foot." The look of death we got from that old lady. When I was super young, probably way too young to be going down to the lake near our house on my own, I came across this black thing on the ground. I couldn't figure out what it was, but it looked like a delicious chestnut like the ones my mom would bring home in huge bags to both snack on and feed squirrels with. So I did what any pre-sensible kindergartner would do and took a bite. It was not a chestnut. To this day, I can't imagine what it was, but it was the absolute worst tasting thing I've ever put in my mouth. I still remember crying as I was walking all the way back home, sure I'd been poisoned and was going to die. Edit. Chestnuts, not hazelnuts. Tomato juice jello. Okay, now I've seen it all. I once tried to eat something that looked like a chestnut. It turned out to be a raw acorn. Bitter AF. A lightning bug, firefly. I was running through the garden at dusk and one flew into my mouth. It was disgusting, very chemical. Bong water. I tried a paleo pre-workout. It was supposed to taste lemony, but it literally tasted like liquid meat. The glue they use on temporary dental crowns is extremely rude. Girlfriend's tonsil stone. I accidentally drank a dip spit can instead of my beer at a party in college once. Similarly, I once drank a drink that someone had been ashing their cigarette in. Not as bad as drinking dip spit though.